Cool. Well, tonight we invited Rachel to speak. She is such an inspiration to me. She's just one of those people that decides to go for something and then just does it. Like I can tell. Like she's constantly moving and grooving. She's so consistent on social media. She's consistent with adding people to her team. She's consistent with always hitting Success Club 10 or higher. She inspires me, and so I thought, well, why not bring her onto our call and just share with us her little story that goes along with everything and her little nuggets. She also works for John Maxwell, and she went diamond within 90 days, and she's currently 1 star. And yeah, so with that, I'll hand it over to you, Rachel. Thank you so much for speaking today.
Oh gosh, that's my pleasure. It's so fun. I love doing this. You guys, I mean, oh my gosh, fitness is like my jam. So I love leadership too because I've worked for John Maxwell for 13 years. So that's kind of my other love. But truly, like I love fitness and I'm passionate about investing. It's so cool to be in a group of women, want to grow and want to just develop. So I'm hoping I can share some with you guys today. I'm trying to keep it short. And I really, whenever I start and share, whether it's in corporate America, you know, with Chick-fil-A or United Airlines or in a group like this, I like to start with agreements. Okay, so this is probably different than what you guys are used to. And what that means is I want us all to agree to something right now. And that is, who can agree that we have lots of trainings at Beachbody? It's like National Wake Up Call and this call and that call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so much training. This is amazing. Does anyone else ever feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of training. I feel like I can't get to any of it. So here's what I want us to agree to today. I want us to be able to agree that we're going to learn and take away one practical application. Chelsea, I don't know, I don't want to button to whatever your agenda is for today, but it may be valuable to have people share what that one thing for them that spoke to them and what they're going to do. Like literally 60 seconds, Amanda, Mallory, Amber, Aaron, Jesse, so on and so forth. You get the floor. Here's your 60 seconds. Here's what I learned. Here's what I'm going to do. Because let me tell you guys something. This is one thing that I'm learning. My pastor shared this on Sunday. It's like, don't just listen and deceive yourself. Great. You listen to the National Wake Up Call. Awesome. You listen to the team call. That's great. You have all these amazing ideas. Guys, if you are not executing on those and taking action, it means nothing. And that's where the magic is in the action. So what I want to challenge you to do today is, as I'm sharing with you, hopefully there's something that speaks to you. And I want you to write that down, and I want you to think about how am I going to take that and apply it to my business. So that's the challenge, okay? And I'll let Kelsey kind of lead that piece of the meeting once we're finished here. Okay, so when Kelsey reached out to me, I was honored because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's kind of a big deal. Like, I'm new to this. I didn't know anything. I came in and I'm like a newbie, and I'm not used to that, you know, because I've been with John a long time and I have a lot of experience in consulting and work with all these big companies, but I was like, I knew nothing about Beachbody, but I knew the programs worked. I've used them forever. I lost 40 pounds 10 years ago using P90X. I'm a believer. Right. So I'm like, okay, so I have that going for me. So here I am. So there's a few just little nuggets I want to share with you, both from how did I go diamond in not less than 90 days, and then how did I transition from diamond to team leader. And the interesting thing is, as I thought about this and preparing for this and just kind of praying what I wanted to share with you guys, what I realized is there's not really a big difference. So I can't say like what I did to get to diamond and what I get to team leader. There's not a difference there. It's like the same stuff. And that's not like really a sexy thing to say, because it's like, oh, the same old vital behaviors. But I'll tell you some stories, so hopefully that'll make it more fun. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is this idea of belief. But here's a statement I want you guys to think about. I want you to start to act as if, okay? I want you to act as if you're a diamond. I want you to speak as if you're a diamond. I want you to post as if you're a diamond. It's so critical, you guys. I can't emphasize this enough. And I hope this comes off as not being like prideful, because that's not my intention. But In my brain, I try and act as if I'm a 15-star diamond because that's where I want to go. And so that's how I speak, and that's how I try and post, and that's how I try and be, because that's where I want to go. I don't know if you ever heard this in any businesses or in your lives. There's this idea or this kind of this language around you dress for the next level of success. So like just starting off in my career, I was like this little peon working for John. I'd show up in my suit and everyone's like, oh, there's Rachael, like whatever. And I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to show up because I want to be a consultant. I want to go to Chick-fil-A and talk to Dan Cathy. You know, I want to go to Popeyes and present to Cheryl Batchelor, the CEO. So you know what? I showed up in my suit and I kind of got made fun of, but you know what? Here I am right now. So sometimes people are going to laugh at you, but it doesn't matter. You've got to believe in yourself. So I want you guys to think about that. And everything you do in your workouts and how you're posting, I know we hear that all the time. It's like so trite, like, oh yeah, believe in yourself, well, whatever. Guys, it's not just like it's got to go from here to like here. And the only way you can do it is you just start to just own it and do those things that you see other people that you aspire to be like. For me, Melanie Mitro is like my mentor, which she sort of knows it because I reached out to her and told her, but she's like my mentor. Like, I don't think she really understands how she's my mentor because I just watch her listen and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love her. Like, I get her. Like, she's like a business person and she like presents, like that's how I want to aspire to be. So find those people for your inspiration. Don't copy them, but you want to kind of think about how, like what would Jesus do? What would Melanie do? Which is, I mean, kind of funny, but truly, like find, you know, I have lots of different people, not just her. I mean, I'd say Kelsey's one of them too. You know, she loves her family. She loves the Lord. She's passionate. She's authentic. Those are the kind of women I want to be like. There's plenty of coaches in the business I don't want to be like. But Kelsey and Melanie are two of those coaches. So you guys are really fortunate, truly. And I work with some of the top leaders in business globally. And so that says a lot for your leader. Okay, so let me just tell you a quick story. I don't want to take too long, but this is really funny. So I went to University of Georgia, and my parents were just like, you're on your own, you got to figure it out. So I got a scholarship and all that. That's great. But I still had all these living expenses. So I'm like, how am I going to pay for all this? So I was like, I'm going to be a bartender. Bartenders make a ton of money. Well, I didn't know how to bartend, you guys. I had no clue. So I knew a guy who owned a bar down in Athens, down here in Georgia. So I'm like, I'm going to go, and I'm like, I want to apply for this job. Now he's asking me questions, and I'm just like, I didn't lie, but I just said, yes, I would love to apply for this job. So he's like, great. I think you'd be amazing. Let's bring you in. We're going to have you in on Saturday night. So there I am. He's sitting on the end of the bar owner, and there I am. Now, Sunday was my interview. Saturday night. So on Sunday, I went to the bookstore, and I bought Bartending for Dummies. For real. And I memorized Bartending for Dummies. And I literally, like, people were asking for drinks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't remember. So I'm on the end of the bar, so you got to use that shaker, right? So I'm shaking. I hit it on the bar, break a cup. And he's just sitting there, like, looking at me, laughing. Another martini, shaking it, hit it. I mean, I'm breaking cup after cup after cup. However, I was acting as if I was selling like crazy. I was connecting to people. He hired me, and he ended up putting me on main bar, which was great because back then I was making a ton of money. So what I learned in that is there's so much value in just having confidence and just going in and owning it, you guys. I mean, I'm telling you, and I have so many stories like that. I could tell you a ton of corporate stories, but I think that one's a little bit more relatable. So that's one thing. So act as if. So as you post, as you talk to your team, I want you guys to have confidence and think of yourself, I'm a diamond. I'm a 1-star diamond. I'm a 2-star diamond. So belief. Okay, so another area that helped me transition into the diamond, but then probably I'd say even more further than that, is this area of consistency. Like, so like not sexy at all, right? Oh my gosh, so boring. Consistency. Who wants to be consistent? It's like, it's not fun, but there is so much power in that. You know, I mean, the vital behaviors, you know, you hear it on all the calls, but I'm telling you, that's where the power is. you've got to be doing your workouts. You've got to be drinking your Shakeology. You have to be sharing it on social media. And I'm not talking about, if I see one more coach post something about 160 and this, it's like, no, not like that. Share it in a creative way. You know, I mean, share a recipe. Show yourself doing T25 and like dying and like, wow, I've never done this, but I have access to all these new programs. You know, so do the workouts, share them. Your personal development, don't even get me started. I mean, I work for John Maxwell people. You have no idea. You have no idea. This man is like the personal development encyclopedia. So every time I see him, Rach, what are you reading? What are you learning? What's new? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta come up with something amazing. So here's the thing about that though. Like you can't give what you don't possess, right? And like even me, you guys, like, or all of us, you know, I have moments where I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I'm good at this. I don't know if I can do this. And then my amazing husband gives me a pep talk. But the thing is, you've got to be putting good things in your brain because that is going to build confidence. Because this is not natural. This is not easy. If you really want to take this thing all the way, you've got to have that. I mean, especially if you don't have a support system. Holy cow. I mean, that is so critical to be reading about other people who've been through it and who've persevered, and to have that in your brain. You know, thoughts become things, right? And what you meditate on. I mean, I'm a Christian, so I'm, you know, the whole secret is kind of a little loosey-goosey, but I do think that the things that you meditate on, kind of, you manifest those things. And so wherever you go, there you are. So think about the things that are good and positive and look at those people who are doing the things you want to do. And even if it's 10 minutes a day when you're doing your makeup, you know, find a time that works for you. When when you are on the way back from carpool, you have to be consistent, you guys. I mean, it's like, see, I'm a producer. So I work part-time for John Maxwell, and I'm the #1 consultant. I tell you guys that because the reason I am is because of the consistency of years and years and years of doing this personal development and feeling confidence when I go in the room that I'm just going to ask for it and go for it. And you guys can do that too, but it's a process. Okay, so you becoming this amazing coach and this amazing leader of a business is going to develop day to day. So it develops daily, not in a day. You're not going to be an amazing coach one day. Kelsey didn't just wake up to this amazing business. Melanie Meacher didn't just wake up one day. Bonnie Engel, you hear about all these overnight successes and then you hear their stories, you're like, whoa. And that's the thing, you guys. There's no such thing. But we don't see that. John told me one time, he's like, Rach, everybody wants to do what I do. It's kind of like a hot dog. If they knew what went into it, nobody would want to eat it. And that always stuck with me because you have this man, the way he has worked, I mean, oh my gosh. It is just, and the way he continues to work at almost 70 years old, it's crazy. And the influence he has, he's worked so hard, you guys. And that's the thing, it's just that consistency and having a mindset of growth and learning and just pouring that positivity into your brain. So I just want you guys, I really want to kind of emphasize that consistency piece. So product with a product, right? Personal development, sharing your journey on social media. And then I know this really isn't a vital behavior, but to me it is inviting. You have to do it, guys. I mean, yeah, I mean, my light bulb moment recently, I'm in a group with Chelsea Pearson. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Anyway, she is like a rock star. Oh my gosh, I have a girl crush on her now. And Jamie Ennis and Jen Delvaux. And you know, it just occurred to me. It's like I am not inviting enough into this business opportunity. I'm doing follow-ups. That's great. But I'm not inviting enough to new people because I prejudge people. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if they really would want to do this. I don't know if they'd really be good at it. And do you know, I'll just share with you guys because this is what I'm learning right now. In the past 3 weeks, I've invited people who I just went for it. And I'm telling you, I've signed up, let's see, 10 coaches this month. And half of them I would have never asked. But I just was like, I'm just going to go for it because we don't know what hangs in the balance, you guys. You don't know where people are at. Maybe they're just waiting for you just to ask. And maybe it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, totally. Like you just don't know what hangs in the balance. And so that's been huge for me. So anyway, I like that squirrel rabbit trail. I do that sometimes. Okay, back to the lesson. That's what I'm learning. Here's another big thing I really, really, really want for you guys to get a hold of. This is so huge. This was big for me maybe 3 years ago when I learned this. Your strengths. Maybe you've heard this a lot. You know, you got to figure out what your strengths are. Have you guys heard that? Is that something that you're so? Yes, some people are nodding, some people are kind of just looking at me. Okay, so let me talk to you guys about this. Well, let me share this with you. You have to know what you're good at, and here's why. You should be spending 80% of your time in your strength area. If you're not, you're limiting your success. There's something called the law of the lid. John teaches the law of the lid. The law of the lid says that your effectiveness or success is limited by your leadership ability. So if your leadership ability is at an 8 or a 7, you're going to constantly be butting up against that. And if you're not working your strength zone, you're probably down here. So first things first, you have to identify what your strengths are. What are your strengths? So how do you do that? Okay, so write this down. Strength Finders 2.0. It's by Gallup organization. I think it's Don Clifton, Dr. Don Clifton. Invest in that book. It's not even a book, it's an assessment. Invest in it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I do this for a living. It's one of my favorite assessments. And here's why. It's not just this assessment that says, here are the things you're good at, here's the things you suck at. You know, it's like a 360. This is like, here is why, like, here's what you were created to do. Like, this is how God wired you. And the reason you need to know that is so you can figure out what those things are, so you can figure out, okay, here's my strengths. So how do I take those strengths and figure out what in the business can I connect to those things? And everything else, you've got to team with someone or create a system. And if you don't do that, you're limiting your success. I promise you. I see it in corporate America. Lots of companies that I can't name because I've signed NDAs. I see it with my coaches. So you've got to know that. You've got to figure out what your strengths are. So get the book, take the assessment. It takes 15 minutes. You know what's cool too? If you guys do it as a team, then you get this little book, and in it says how to lead an achiever. So when I talk to Amanda, I'm like, oh, Amanda's an achiever. So here's how I need to interface with her. Or, oh my gosh, Jessie is an activator. So here's how I can lead her best. Or, you know, Ashley really, you know, she's a relator. So I need to really just kind of press into her and help her to leverage that and to be a better coach. You guys, this is so huge. I just can't even express it enough. So lead where you're strong, team where you're weak. Team or put a system where you're weak. So lead where you're strong, team or put a system where you're weak. I suck at graphics, like with the capital S. I am not good at like a lot of technical things, although I shouldn't speak that out there, but it's kind of true. I have an assistant who I've hired who helps me with those things. My success partner is amazing. She's really good at graphics. She helps me with those things. I'm not good at, well, anything graphic related. I outsourced my freemium. I went to 99 Designs. I put it out there. They bid it for less than $300. I have a freemium. It's bringing me in like tons and tons of leads. That's awesome. My website, I outsourced my website. I don't know how to do that. I know nothing about that. I outsourced it to a third party who created the template. I saw Lindsay Matways. I liked hers. I found out who her girl was. I went to her. I honestly don't even know how much it was. Maybe it was $200 or $300, but it's done and it looks awesome. And I had my assistant do a lot of the leg work. So yeah, and here's the thing. Maybe you guys are thinking this like, oh, assistant, oh my gosh, I'm not making any money. Here's the thing, you guys. You have to invest if you want to make money. And that's hard too. I get it. Trust me. Like my husband works for KPMG, one of the big 4 accounting firms. He's a mergers and acquisitions consultant. So try explaining this to him. He's like, where's the ROI? And I'm like, okay, this is not good. I'm like, you let me handle this. I'll pay for all the whatever, and just we're gonna get there. And he's like, okay, I trust you. But you kind of have to invest a little sometimes if you want to grow fast. Like for me, I want to go fast. Like I want to go fast because candidly, I want to do this full time. I maybe consult with John still because I love him and I've worked for him forever. But it's hard, you guys. It's hard to do a full-time job and also do this, right? I mean, oh my gosh, and be a mom and a wife and try and work out and like be involved at church. And it's like, okay, I need to like, something's got to give here. So the faster I get there, the more I'll feel like, okay, I can be like more singularly focused. So what else on that? I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Oh, look at that sweet. Oh, I love seeing sweet little babies on the call. Okay. Sorry, I get distracted with kids. Okay, here's point number 4. And this kind of goes back to the investing. Delegation. Okay. You have got to delegate. If someone else can do it 80% as well as you can do it, you have to delegate it. If you want to scale a business. Now, here's how I want you to think about this. Maybe for you, it's not to get to 90. Maybe you don't have to do that. But for me to get to team leader, completely essential. And I think, I don't have the exact dates. I should probably have it right in front of me, but I got to team leader within a year, I'm pretty sure. But I hired someone maybe, I think 7 months into the business. But I'm also doing consulting, so I can't do that. And I hired a housekeeper because I can't do that. And I don't want to do it. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time cleaning. And to me, it was worth the return on investment. I know everyone's in a different place, and I don't want to be insensitive to that. I just think you look at the total picture and you figure out what are my priorities and where am I willing to give, where am I willing not to give. And that's different for everyone. But I'd encourage you guys to be intentional about that. I have a board, I have all my priorities, and we're very intentional, my husband and I, about how we're going to invest our resources in order to achieve what our priority is. And I have my vision board over here and what we want to accomplish as a couple, as a team. What else? So I would say maybe make a list of those things that are draining to you. Make a list of those things that you really hate doing and the things that are just time suckers. And maybe make a goal. Like if I hit X here and I earn whatever that number is for you, maybe you invest a little back into your business. Or maybe you invest it all. I'm going negative, okay? I'm not making money right now. For me, personally, because I know, like most business people, that sometimes you have to kind of go make very little in order to long-term have a huge return. And I'm okay with that. And not everyone is, but I'm okay with that right now because I see the vision. I know Meg Wazinski. I talked to Janelle. I talked to Mindy Winder. I see what they've shared with me, what their financials are. I see the vision and I know it's possible. But again, it goes back to what your risk threshold is. And I have a supportive partner too. And I know that not everybody does. I have lots of coaches who don't. And that's really hard. And honestly, I don't really know how to navigate that. So I'm going to probably need some coaching from someone else on that. Because it's heartbreaking to me because they're so invested and that person doesn't get it. So I don't have the answer to that. But what I will say is that if you are able to maybe have social proof and show whoever that person is that I personally am not there, but let me share with you Meg's story. Let me share with you Kelsey's story. Let me share with you whoever's story. Here's what she did. Here's where she's at. I think I can get there. Here's the plan. You know, because sometimes you got to sell your spouse, right? No, we're all familiar with that. What else? Last thing is, I kind of talked about this. Oh, I'm doing so good on time. I usually start talking and go way over. I'm doing good. So the last thing is sacrifice. So do you guys know who Dave Ramsey is? Yeah? Yeah, yay, okay, yeah. So Dave and John are friends. They're buds. And we did this event, and John asked me to host Dave, like speaker host. It's like a handler. I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. So I didn't really know who he was. So I get the first of all, I get there. He's like, we can't ride in the same car together. Do you have someone else with you? And I'm kind of like, I was annoyed, honestly, which I shouldn't have been, because that's good that he has his values. And but from the get go, I was like, this guy's high maintenance. So I get there, and he's kind of like really kind of, I don't know if abrasive is the right word, but very like in your face. So I'm like, okay, let me show you around, show you where you're going to be speaking. Here's the green room. And so I asked him, so tell me a little bit about your story, your background, blah, blah, blah. So he starts sharing with me a story, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, he was bankrupt, and then he came back, and here's how, and he did this whole debt-free thing. And by the end of the day, that night I went home. My husband and I had been married like a year. We had $67,000 in debt because we had our dream wedding. We went to Bora Bora at the St. Regis for 2 weeks. We spared no expense. And we had like the wedding of the century. And so we had a lot of debt. And so I come home, I'm like, Matt, let me see your wallet. And he's like, why? I'm like, let me see your credit card. So I get the scissors. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, we're going to go on we're on a new plan. It's like it's the Dave Ramsey plan. So I start to tell him all about it. And my poor husband, y'all, pray for him. He's the laid back one. There's got to be one in every family. So I'm like, we got to do this. Let me tell you what he told me. And I told him the story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. And we got to, like, this is what we need to do, because I want to live like no one else, so we can live like no one else. That is the key statement. And this is this whole essence of sacrifice, delayed gratification. We need to be teaching our children this. And that is, you pay now and you play later. And you can still play a little bit now. But the bottom line is, like, you've got to sacrifice, you guys. I mean, if you want to have these big, huge, amazing dreams, do you think these 15-star diamonds just got there like at the snap? No. They sacrifice, but we don't see that. We just see like all the glitz and glamour and they're on the stage. And so that's just one of the things I want to share with you guys. Like, oh my gosh, like, there are so many nights I have to, after I work all day long and all night long, I got to stay up even later, get up early the next day and have a client stuff all day. And then I got to beach body in between. But that's okay, because I see the vision. And when you're connected to that, and for me, it's like freedom. And you're cool with that, because I'm going to live like this right now, because I know in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be different, because I see other people who are living it, and I know it's possible. And that's what you have to grab onto, because it's going to be hard. And that's why most people don't do it. It's too hard. And I get it, you guys. Trust me, I'm in it right now. It is hard. I mean, the client load I have right now and the responsibilities I have, it's just, and we all have that. All of us could sit here and like tell like the woe is me stories. But that's the thing that's gonna be cool, because then you can share with your team, like, look, I did it too. I understand. I know where you're coming from. It's not easy. It sucks. It's hard. It's painful. You're tired. I mean, I get it. But it's worth it, or we wouldn't do it. It's like having children, right? Anyone who has more than one child, like the first child, you're like, I'm never doing this again. And then you have more. And the same thing goes for this. So that's what I want to kind of just leave you guys with, is like, think about, right now you're going to live like no one else, and everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? Like, why can't you go out? Why can't you do this? You're always working. It's like, okay, yeah. But then check back with me a few years from now, because I'll be at the beach. And I will, and some of you will too, because you will have made the decision and you'll be laser focused that you're going to do it. And that's what you have to do. You got to just decide. So, my notes. Okay, one last thing. This is a bonus, because I'm 3 minutes over. You got to be tracking, you guys. If you're not tracking, I don't care how you're tracking. I don't care if you use whatever you're using. What you don't measure, you can't manage. If I ask you right now, how many invites did you do this week? You should know. If I ask you how many people did you add this week, you should know. This is a business. You're business owners. You're entrepreneurs. You need to know your numbers. I know it's so much. I know it can be overwhelming, but I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. I promise you. I mean, I've got 2 girls right now who are like, this is close to going diamond. It's just sweet, awesome. So I'll be at 3-star, and that's exciting, and we're going to be growing. It's going to be fun. But the thing is, it's like, I want them to stay there, right? And one of them is not really like too keen on tracking. And I'm kind of like, you gotta track, girl. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in trouble because, right, you gotta constantly be refilling that pipeline. And in our brain, we're like, oh yeah, I totally invited. I invited like 15 people. And you go back, you're like, wow, I invited 2 people. Because we overestimate. We base ourselves based on what our intentions are versus our actions. And you've got to have like something. I use a bat every single day. I use this every day. I go back, I look at it every week. I figure out, where did I miss the mark? Where did I hit the mark? What do I need to do? Gotta do it, you guys. Telling you this, I would say of everything, like this is my secret sauce. It's like my OCD-ness is right here because if I don't do it, I will go back and do it. Yesterday, I literally had a meeting from 7:30 until 6:30 at John Maxwell. I missed my entire day. So today, I just really got focused. I did 10 new business invites, posted to Facebook, did my workout, of course, did my personal development, of course, added double to my like page, to my Instagram, connected with new people, reached out to new coaches, posted on my team page. I know it kind of sounds like a lot, but when you have a system, when you sit down and you're like, okay, here's my list, and you just go one thing after the next. It's easier than sitting down like, what do I need to do? Should I do a graphic? Should I like look at what other coaches are like? I don't even know what other coaches are doing. Like I only know Melanie Mitchell because I stalk her, honestly, but that's like the only one. I don't know what anyone else is doing. Like people say, oh, did you see this girl, Rushrana, or this? And I'm like, no, I don't like, I just don't look at what other coaches are doing. I don't have time. So that's pretty much it. I went over 6 minutes, but that's kind of how I roll sometimes. So I hope this is helpful. And I hope that you guys found something, one thing, one nugget that you're like, okay, that's awesome. That makes sense to me. And tomorrow, as in tomorrow, like I'm going to do this. Here's what I'm going to do, and you're going to do it because that's how you're going to be successful.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, that was amazing. I like took so many notes, and I will tell you my one thing. In 60 seconds, you can even time me. In 60 seconds, Amber actually introduced me to the Strengths Finders 2.0, and I've taken the test, and I'm like, cool, here are my strengths. But I did nothing with that. And so I am going to go back, and I'm going to figure out how I can implement that to the business and spend 80% of my time there and then delegate the rest. So, and what was cool is Amber and I's strengths are different. So it's cool that we did team up. So
I love it. Do you know what your strengths are? You may not know them because it's hard to know them off the top of your head.
I don't remember, but I'll message you.
It's so interesting to me. I mean, it really is like when you meet people and you take them at face value and then you start to look at their strengths and you're like, wow, like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy. You just don't know, you guys. You don't know what your coach is either. You know what I was just thinking today, actually? I was thinking, I give all my new coaches a slight edge. It's like a gift that I give to everyone before they sign up for the new coach mentorship that I do. And I'm thinking about switching it. I'd like to do both, but not, I got to kind of ease into it. So I got to do one book. And I'm thinking I may switch it to the Strength Finders because I want to know how I can really serve them. And if I don't know what their strengths are, it's hard to do that. So that's really cool that you guys did that.
Yeah, I love that.
What are yours? I'm like a total strengths nerd, so I need to know.
Oh, you have to tell me yours too. So I was just talking to my president about this today because I want to know what hers are. She's our new president. So mine are achiever, which is like, goal-oriented. Activator, which means you like to get things done quickly. Learner, I like to learn new information. Discipline, and focus. So I'm like, can you share yours?
Yes. I'm just typing them out because I have to remember them again. Maximizer, activator, strategic, positivity, and what's my last one? Arranger, I think.
Oh, those are just, I could debrief you guys on these and just, I mean, I could spend 10, 15, well, maybe longer than that. That is like an awesome mix of strengths. I mean, it really is. And to talk about, like, for each of you guys, how you can leverage that in your business, it's huge. You know what a ranger is? And a ranger is able to look at a team of people and figure out how to arrange them in order to be most effective to achieve a desired result. Really good person to have on your team. A maximizer takes something that's average and takes it and makes it extraordinary. Another great person to have on your team. It's good to help with a success partner because it's like yin and yang, right? Like when you're like, I'm like over here and like Kim's like, Rachel, you know, you need to kind of like maybe think about this over here. I'm like, oh yeah, good point.
No, it's so true. And that was my probably biggest takeaway that you said tonight was just, you know, it's okay to have things that you're not great at. And sometimes I'm hard on myself because I'm not super organized. Like I hate going through my email, you know, and so I delegate that. And sometimes I feel bad about it, but I shouldn't, you know? And so I think I love what was that quote you use? Lead with,
you're strong and team where you're weak.
Yes.
Or system where you're weak. Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. And all of you need to really kind of embrace that because that's a big thing too, is that it's like you look at whoever, compare yourself to whoever you're comparing yourself to, and you're like, oh, my social media is not as good as hers, or oh my gosh, I don't speak like her, or Chelsea Pearson, she's so, like that's what I've been doing lately. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so inspirational. I don't think I can talk like that. And I'm like, okay, no, stop. I don't need to be her. Like she is her. I am me. I need to be me. But we do that. And when we compare ourselves, you guys, it's like, stop. You got to stop doing it. When you find yourself doing it, like literally tell yourself, stop it.
Yes, totally.
Just won't.
Totally.
Do we want to just popcorn it and have one takeaway and what action item you're going to do tomorrow?
Sure. Whatever. You're the boss.
Yeah, I say we do it. It holds you accountable when you say it out loud.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to popcorn it over to Amanda. Oh, there's a couple. Amanda Max.
I know. Which one? Me? Me?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Let's see. There's so much. I don't know. I really like all the way at the beginning. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay. All the way at the beginning, like I need to act more like, you know, when you said act more like you're already like a 15-star diamond. And I need to put that more into everything that I do. Like all of my tracking, I'm not doing that enough. And all of my invites, I feel like I do that a lot, but I could do it a whole lot more. Like I need to be acting like I'm already 15-star, you know, and I definitely need to do that more. It reminded me, you know, Rachel, when you said dressing for the job, and you know, it reminded me, I used to always tell my son that, like he's married now, you know, he's not living around, but I would always tell him that. I'm like, when you show up for an interview or, you know, you go to your first day or whatever you're doing, you show up like you're the manager. That's just what you do. And that's what I always told him to do. So, that's, you know, it just reminded me of that. So I definitely need to do that more for sure. So that is like that's my main takeaway. Absolutely. Is that I need to start acting more like a diamond in that way. Cause I know in my posts and in my workouts, like I feel like I'm there. I'm consistent with that and I'm really good with that. But when it comes to the inviting and with the, consistency and stuff like that, I don't do that enough at all, and I need to do that more. So absolutely I need to do that. So that's me. That's my biggest takeaway. And let's see, I will popcorn it to Lane. Popcorn it to you.
Awesome, Amanda. I'm kind of going to piggyback off of you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of going to piggyback off of you because the act as if and own it really hit me, especially with the don't just listen and deceive yourself, but act on it. Because I do a lot of listening. I listen to all the training and I'm not necessarily implementing it because I lack the confidence in this because I'm so new. So I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I am consistent with how I track things, but not with inviting. And, you know, like you guys all said, it's hard. This is hard. Being a coach is hard. So that's what's holding me back from inviting. And I do just need to act as if, because I do have people that I follow that I admire, like Rachael does with Melanie Mitro. And I read their stuff and I'm like, I want to say that stuff. I want to be bold and I want to, you know, just be like that. And I feel like I can't. And I am in my job now, and I have been in all my jobs in the past. So I don't know why I'm not in this one, because this is what I want to do. So I really have to take a hard look at that.
Well, can I just encourage you and say that sometimes I understand, because I've been really successful in my career, and I understand where you're coming from, because when something's new, it's kind of scary. And there's, for me anyway, there's fear of failure, there's fear of rejection, but it gets easier and easier every time you do it. And the more you do it, you're like, you just disconnect. There's so many invites out there, I'm like, okay, whatever, next. I mean, not like in a, like I've sent so many out there. And you know, I'll tell you guys one thing that's been so cool for me is, this is just like a light bulb moment. Oh my gosh. Like what I've been doing recently is just reaching out to people who I may have had a few conversations with and just said, oh my gosh, hey girl, can I just tell you how much I love your posts? Like your posts are the real, they are inspiring, they're fun. You know, you would be amazing as a coach. Is there any part of what I do that interests you? I am getting so many responses from that. I cannot even, I mean, literally, it's like insane. Try that.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Yeah. No, there's nothing about, you know, or yeah, like, what is it? Or yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you know, I've got a sneak peek, or I'm running this event in a week. Would you be interested in just joining in? You know, so it's kind of like, sometimes I feel like we have to like close the deal. It's like, we're planting seeds. So plant the seed, move on to the next. Because I'm telling you, I've only been doing this a year, and people who I talked to a year ago were like, oh my gosh, Beachbody, I would never do that. You're such a loser. Now they're like, oh, can I be in your challenge group? I'm like, really? Like, oh my gosh. Yes, you can. You know, but it's just, so we got to let go of the fear. It's like that whole phrase, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Anyway. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Rachel. And I'm right there with you, sister. Trust me.
How about Mallory? You're up.
Sorry, I'm fighting a cold or allergies or something. So, I mean, I took away like 12 things from this, so it was really good. Starting out, the act as if, that's kind of what I've been trying to do from the beginning. You know, I have said before that I stalked Kelsey a lot before I even talked to her about becoming a coach. And I'm one of those people where I wouldn't even try to do it if I didn't think I could. And so I watched her for a while and watched all of her stuff, and I was like, I can do this. Like, I'm doing daily things just like she is. All I have to do is post about it. Also, I think the one thing that I'm going to take away and change, I am terrible at personal development. Like, I'll just put it out there. I'm awful. I don't like to read. I have way too many things going through my mind. So when I read, I'm just like, I get to the bottom of the page and I'm like, I have no idea. Waste my time. And then the investing for your business is the Audible, the Amazon Audibles. I just freaking signed my husband up for Shakeology, and I was like, yes, investment. Like, I'm in. So baby steps. Not hiring assistants yet, but that's something little that I think that I definitely could, because I mean, I do sit there for a long time and think about posts like, what can I post about today, or what is something that I've learned. And I think that I would have a lot more of that if I was doing more regular personal development. So I mean, so many other things that I took away. The pay now, play later, that's huge for me. And I kind of have to tell my husband the same thing because he is completely anti-social media. He does not have Facebook. He does not have anything. So when I'm sitting there like on my phone, he's like, babe, really? Like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, I just sold a challenge back. And so that's something that we are working on. And that's like putting my hours into play as far as getting up in the morning or something like that. So this just, like, all of this just triggered so many things where I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to invest in that. So those are just a couple of things, but I think I'm pretty good at inviting. I have referenced Leslie's training a lot about just, I tell myself all the time, I'm like, well, hey, have you ever thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? And it freaks me out, and I want to puke every time I hit send, but then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to die. So that was her big thing. And so I always tell myself that, and I've kind of gotten over that fear. So I think that my one thing of the 4 is personal development, and that's just me making time for it. So it's what I need to do most. All popcorn to my girl Ashley Pritchard.
And actually, before you pop it,
oh, sorry, yeah.
I just want to make a comment or just share with you that one of the things I learned recently this week, my sister and I drove to Tampa Super Saturday, and we heard, is it Tanya? She's in the 225. I can't think of her last name. The machine. Anyway, one of the things she said that spoke to me was, find personal development that speaks to where you are. So everybody else is reading you're a badass or, whatever they're reading. Doesn't matter. For you right now, you need to figure out, like, go on there and look what speaks to your soul right now. Sign up for Audible. It's $15 a month, and listen to it when you are putting your makeup on, when you're, whatever, if you're driving to work, find 10, 15 minutes to listen to it. Because I'm telling you, do it every day for 30 days. It will be a game changer. I promise you. Because I know, because I'm the same way. Because I work for a personal development company. I'm like, I don't need to do that. I do that all day. And I got into the business, and I was like really lacking confidence, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do personal development too. So that will be a game changer for you.
Thank you.
Sorry, who said it? Ashley.
I love that. I feel like me and Mallory are like the same person, and she's my success partner. So I'm really excited to see like what our strengths are, because I'm awful at graphics. I will put that out there. Mallory's awesome. Tracking is my main thing I suck at. I couldn't tell you how many people I've invited or how many people I've added to my network. So I definitely want to get better with that. I'll find people that will follow me on like Instagram. And when I look at their profile, I'll notice that they are either a lip sync consultant or It Works or Plexus, or I'll like watch videos about them trying to promote their product and they're bashing Shakeology. And I just get so pissed. Like I've told my husband, like, they don't know anything about this. They don't have the portion control containers, the workout programs. He's like, why don't you tell them? I'm like, I don't know. Like I need to stop like holding myself back and reaching out to them, because maybe they don't know. And all they've heard is it's a protein shake. Maybe they don't know the details. So I really need to stop holding myself back from people that are involved in other network marketing programs and stuff. What else? Tomorrow I'm definitely doing the Strengths Finder 2.0 because I'm super curious as to what my strengths are. Right now I have no clue. No clue. Yeah, that's about it. Tracking is my main thing for sure.
Do you guys have a bat that you use, Kelsey? Or I assume you
Yeah,
do.
I love the new business activity tracker that they have developed. You guys, that's awesome. And what I do too at the very top is I write like IG, Facebook, like page, and I would write my numbers at the very top, like where I've started the week at. And I would it was like a healthy competition with myself. Like, okay, my goal is like, adding this many people to each one. And then at the end of the week, I had to write my real numbers there. So it's like this, I don't know why, like I like a healthy competition with myself. And so get those numbers where they need to be as far as adding to your network and figuring out, okay, this is my goal for the week as far as invites and as far as challenge groups and coaching, and to like have that healthy competition with yourself helps so much, I think.
I love that.
Whatever your tracker is, it doesn't matter what you're using. You got to use something.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new bat. I have my own that's a combination of something I learned from Brittany Legan and Meg Wazinski. And so I just kind of have this, I don't even know, something I just put together myself. But it's all those things that I know are KPIs, key performance indicators, in order to move the business forward. And so,
do you mind sending that to me?
No, I'm happy to. I mean,
awesome.
Like to your point, I track my workout in Shakeology. I track my personal development, or if it's a training, I track how many invites. Minimum of 30 a week. Facebook personal, Facebook like, Instagram. This says add 4. I try and add 300 people a week. I know that sounds crazy, but that's kind of how I roll. I'm a little crazy. My mentor recognition, I check into my team page every single day. I have a free group I check into. I have a challenge group I check into. Follow-ups, right? All the messages you have in your inbox. And then friend lists. I do friend lists where I go onto Facebook and I have a friend list for prospects. You can just create a custom news feed. Do you guys know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can have all your coaches on one. So you can just, I don't ever scroll the news feed. Don't do that. I did the other day and I started watching this video of it, like a shark getting into a cage. I'm like, why am I watching this? Should be watching this. But it's like, it sucks you in. You start reading all these. So don't do that. You don't have time. None of us have time for that. Stay focused on what your goal is. How much time do you have? Set your timer and just go through your list and get it done. But you guys, I'm telling you, this is my secret sauce right here. And this is how I've been successful in John Maxwell. I work part-time at John Maxwell. I work 25 hours a week. I make 6 figures. This is my secret sauce there too. It's the same thing. It's tracking. So, and I only tell you that because I want you to know there's proof, social proof. It does work. And a lot of my colleagues are like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I track everything I do. And I spend 80% of my time on the 20% of clients that produce the most revenue. It's kind of the same thing with us. It's just, right?
If anything in any area that we want to be successful in, you have to track, whether it's with your money, with your finances, with your health and fitness, with the business, just anything. Like, you have to know if you've grown or not. You don't know that unless you're tracking. So
I agree.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. So to everyone in our group message thread, do you guys just want to post in there, the ones that haven't, what your action item will be from your takeaway for tomorrow in that group message thread? And we'll see you there. Yeah. Thanks again, Rachel. I can't thank you enough for this amazing training.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
In Punta Cana, maybe? Are you going to Punta Cana?
Yes, I will be there.
Yeah, we'll too. Okay, so I'll be right there.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.